And now to Megan Thee Stallion opening up in the New York Times, speaking up for black women. The rapper says she's not afraid of criticism and hopes to empower young women. Janae Norman has that story.
Hip-hop star Megan Thee Stallion speaking out and speaking up for black women in America.
Being constantly told she's too much or not enough.
The most disrespected person is the black woman.
The singer penning a powerful op-ed piece in the New York Times, taking on the issue of violence against women, opening up about her own experience and what she describes as being a victim of an act of violence by a man, explaining the issue is even more intense for black women who struggle against stereotypes and are seen as angry or threatening when we try to stand up for ourselves and our sisters.
For her to speak to these issues and to speak to us specifically, because the conversation is almost always about everybody else but black women, it's very meaningful and it's very significant.
I'm a savage, classy, bougie, ratchet, sassy, moody, nasty.
This comes just days after the rap superstar performed her mega hit Savage on Saturday Night Live. The words "protect black women" behind her on stage, featuring quotes from Malcolm X and activist Tamika Mallory, calling out Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron for his handling of the Breonna Taylor case.
We need to protect our black women and love our black women.
Megan Thee Stallion's op-ed pointing to other obstacles black women face, like disproportionately high mortality rates for black mothers, and citing a 2019 stat that 91% of transgender or gender non-conforming people who were fatally shot were black. The rapper also says she was the victim of a shooting. Musician Tory Lanez was charged with assault in the July incident.
If she were a white artist and what happened to her happened, there would be an outpouring of support and sympathy.
Megan writing, after a party, I was shot twice as I walked away from him. Even as a victim, I've been met with skepticism and judgment, adding, people have publicly questioned and debated whether I played a role in my own violent assault.
It's important for Meg to not just speak out, but to continue to operate her career on her own terms.
Work it, work it.
And Megan saying she's not afraid of criticism, and she thinks, quote, it's ridiculous that some people think the simple phrase protect black women is controversial. Diane.
Janae, thanks. And these are Megan Thee Stallion's first public comments since Tory Lanez was charged last week. His arraignment was postponed until November 18th. ABC News was unable to reach his team for comment. But senior entertainment writer at ESPN's The Undefeated, Kelly Carter, joins us now for more on this. Kelly, good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So Megan Thee Stallion starts out her piece saying black women have gone from being unable to vote to being able to decide elections within a century. What does that shift say about where we are right now?
I mean, I think it says a lot, quite frankly. Probably one of the most important special interest groups in this election, and in last election 4 years ago, were black women. You know, and I think there's this really kind of funny but very true and very serious meme that has been circulating for years that says black women, quote, screw it, I'll do it, you know. And I think that speaks volumes, is that, you know, we kind of understand that the world, or the country in this case, is looking at black women to kind of save the day once again. And I think that Megan was just kind of picking up on this very popular thought and expanding that to her audience and her fan base.
Now, when she performed on SNL last week, the words "protect black women" were on a screen behind her. Now, the words there are obvious, and she used them a lot in this op-ed, but what's the larger meaning behind them?
I mean, Meg's personal issue right now, I think, is unfortunately extremely relatable, and that is that black women, for the entirety of our existence, it feels like, have been in a very complicated position to protect black men, because we know of the dangers of not protecting black men. And I think, you know, she is, you know, talked about being shot and being assaulted by another singer, and she doesn't understand why, and hasn't gotten the kind of public outpouring of support that she might have, that she deserves and she could. But it happened because she, in that moment, was trying to protect him, because everyone is afraid of what happens when you report an incident against a Black man in this environment. And I think that that is the painful truth of that particular reality, but it's the painful truth for a lot of Black women, unfortunately. It's why domestic violence incidents don't get reported as high in this community, because there is this idea that Black men need to be protected. But Megan is flipping the script and saying, no more, silence no more, protect Black women. This is a community of people that have been ignored, that have been disrespected for so many years, and the time is now to pay attention and protect this particular group of people.
And what kind of an impact do you think these kinds of justice-focused musical performances and these kind of pieces have in terms of trying to create real change? And what is it about her that you think made this time sort of carry so much weight and see so much coverage?
Megan is 25 years old, and it's very difficult to remember that, because a lot of times when she speaks, and even the content of her music makes her appear to be a little bit older than her actual age, but she's a 25-year-old college student. So she is really speaking to a lot of first-time voters in this election, which is very powerful and very important. But it's also important to note that Megan's platform has always been about the empowerment and the upliftment of women, and Black women in particular. Writing about it in a New York Times op-ed and performing on a Saturday Night Live stage with Protect Black Women in the background, it's just a more comfortable way for everybody else to talk about her platform. You know, her platform is always about putting women out front and making women feel comfortable to live in their own truths. And this is just an extension of all the things that she's been doing since her first mixtape dropped.
All right, well, definitely continuing a much-needed conversation. Kelly Carter from ESPN's The Undefeated. We appreciate your time, Kelly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.